ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, presented by Smiley's Photography, to and from the ring with your host, J.L. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Smiley's Photography presents To and From the Ring, and I'm your host, J.L. Cool. Now, this week, let's go straight to part 2 with the one and only Billy Jester.
Oh, same hospital. I got to tell you about this one. Same hospital. All right, it was getting back to the cages this time, and it was the actual every annual period or around those.
This was around Thanksgiving.
Yes, TWA would throw the cages around, barbed wire on top, barbed wire. That has nothing to do with the story because it was just that time, man. That took me back. Mikey Watkins, Tyler Sutton, they were having their normal matches. They do the crazy stuff, you know. You see the Canadian destroyers off the top rope and all that stuff where people's like, ugh. Well, Mikey takes an angel's wing from Tyler, which is where he's suspended upside down and jumps off. Mikey comes down. Well, something happened and Mikey cracked his I should probably save that story for Mikey if he.
Oh no! Go ahead.
He cracked his eye. I don't know, whatever this eye bone is right here.
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, he cracked
Cheek
that
bone
thing
right around your eye socket.
Yeah. So Mikey ends up at the same hospital, you know, later on, and of course we go and visit him because he has to stay a couple days because his eye is broke. I mean, that's part of your skull. It's broken, you know, and you want to make sure you're okay. You can still see. Anyway, you go. I don't know how well he saw because whenever I got there, I said, Mike, how are you doing, man? Are you okay? I mean, you took a bad crash in that ring, man, and then you ended up climbing up the ring, got out. He's like, why don't you ask Larry? Ask Larry. Larry knows how I'm doing.
Who's Larry?
Well, I'm like, okay, Mikey, where's Larry? Is he the doctor? Is he the nurse? Who's Larry? Larry's his IV. He told me to go ask his IV how he was doing.
Wait a minute. How much drugs was he on at this point?
I don't know, man. He was in.
Larry is his IV.
Yeah, he was in that hospital over in Dalton, and apparently he was talking to his IV, and the IV introduced himself like, "Hi, Mikey, I'm Larry."
You know, if I ever get put in the hospital, I really hope I got some serious good drugs like that.
Well, let's just hope you don't go to the hospital.
Well, I don't want to go to the hospital, but I mean, if I do, if I had an IV to talk to me,
apparently Dalton's got you covered if you do, man.
So how long did he talk to Larry?
We still talk about Larry. I mean, he's been out of the hospital for years. And they're like, hey, you remember Larry? And he's like, yeah, that's my IV, man. I was like, he said you're doing pretty good.
Okay, that's a weird, interesting story.
Yeah, well, things happen, you know.
You told me you had a few more stories. You had a few more stories that you thought of. Come on, give me one. Fans want to hear stories. They want to hear entertaining stuff.
Okay, all right, entertaining stuff. All right. Well, I don't know how entertaining this one is. This is kind of the first time I actually bled in a ring. You know, it was the first time I met Keith Hart. Yeah, Keith Hart. I mean, he does. The man can fly. I didn't expect it. Yeah, he can do anything.
He can fly. He can mat wrestle. Be technical. He can tie you up like a pretzel.
He can do nothing and keep the crowd into
the mat. Yeah. You know, it's easy.
Well,
it's easy.
Yeah, it's like, well, okay, we're wrestling, and I'm trying not to cross the line here too far. He's beating me and puts me on the rope. He's like, better cover your face, kid. And I'm like, okay, what's coming? So I put my head down. I'm like, all right, he's coming. He's somewhere. Where's he at? I don't hear him. I look up at the crowd, and here comes some feet. Boom! Right in the face. And I fly back in the middle, and I look at my hand. I'm just dripping blood out of my nose, like. Blah, 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 blah. He comes over there, and he's yelling at the crowd. Blah, blah, blah. He comes over there, picks me up. He's like, "You didn't put your head down, did you, kid?" Throw me back down. I'm rolling, trying to get my nose to stop bleeding. It's like blood everywhere.
Let me tell you just what kind of guy Keith Hart is. Okay, I'm going to stretch that PG moment for just a second.
Okay.
First time I ever got to hang out with Keith Hart, I had met him at a couple of shows, but the first time I actually got to hang out with him, we were actually setting up a haunted house. And, I'm mouthy. I aggravate people. I run my mouth. Well, I am on top of an 8-foot ladder. So I'm up on top of this 8-foot ladder running my mouth, which is kind of stupid if you look back on it. Well, here comes Keith Hart. No, he didn't try to push me off. No, he didn't. He didn't try to act like he was going to shake the ladder. He comes up the other side of the ladder about halfway with a pair of pliers. And let me tell you, where he got me was not a good spot.
Oh, man, I hate when they grab your nose with those pliers.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It was a little further down. But he goes... He's got me by a pair of pliers going, you ain't going to smart off to me, are you, no more? You're going to be good, ain't you, JL? You ain't going to do that, are you? Because he had me just enough where I couldn't move. And I'm like, no, sir. No. So he gets down off the ladder, makes 4 or 5 steps in the opposite direction. Then I smart off again, jump down off the ladder, and run out the front door. That's the kind of person Keith is. And I actually, that was our bonding moment. Ever since then, we were kind of, we ran the roads together. He took me under his wing. He taught me psychology. We run the roads together. That's Keith Hart. He's a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you earned his respect. I mean, if he can grab you with those pliers and
think about it. If somebody grabs you with a pair of pliers. And spots.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
Right.
What are you gonna do about it?
Cry?
Yeah, because if you go to hit him, what's gonna happen?
Squeeze.
Yeah, and that ain't gonna be good.
Yeah. Now you hear that little crunch. Yeah. Oh, Keith Hart. Speaking of him, another time we were out in the ring and we were having a. It was a hardcore match, and so he gives me a pile driver outside of the ring on the concrete. I'm dazed, man. I got a hard head, but that kind of dazed me a little bit. And he sets me up against the ring. Boom. Next thing I'm like, okay, what's he doing? He's over there yelling at the crowd. He goes back and comes back with a cinder block. What's he gonna do with a cinder block, man?
I've seen this. Go ahead, tell the story.
So he, the area that you're talking about with the pliers.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he
yeah.
puts the cinder block right there. I'm like, what's he gonna do? That's cinder block. Oh, well, next thing I know, Mr.
Sledgehammer.
Yeah, Mr. Hart's coming with sledgehammer. Ah! Boom!
Was that on you?
Yeah. That was me. That was me.
So
thank you, Mr. Hart.
I've seen him do that to a few people. Logan Chase the Third. He done it to Logan. He's done it to you. I didn't know he done it to you.
Oh yeah.
He done it to several different people. It don't feel well.
No.
It don't feel well, and he probably liked you. That's what's bad.
Yeah. He tells me constantly like, I like you, kid. Oh, why'd you break a cinder block over? Never mind.
What other stories you got, man? What other story? I tell you what. What is the worst injury that you've ever had?
The worst injury? Well, this is kind of interesting because Doug Watkins actually had to tell me to take some time off because I was maybe 2 years into the business and I wanted to go. Every time I could wrestle through the week, I wanted to wrestle, and I would be there. Well, I would train on, what were the days? I think it was Monday and Wednesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday, something like that. And there was a trainee there. He was about 6'4", and here I am. I'm about 5'9". So in order to get up with the drop kick, which I was throwing to him, I had to jump pretty hard. Well, I did, and I jumped up. I kicked him in the face, but I spiked myself in the ring, and I don't know if my shoulder went out. It wasn't quite like crazies, but it hurt. And I couldn't lift my arm up for a good 2 months, something like that. I didn't go to the hospital because if I go to the hospital, they're gonna drug me up. Somebody's gonna get a plastic bottle or take pictures with me and stuff like.
I never
stuff like
took
that.
no pictures with you.
You never took pictures with me?
I don't think so.
I don't.
I don't think you like me good enough to take pictures.
Oh, JL always liked you, man. It's just
you never took pictures.
But
with
you
me.
took weird pictures, though, man. I mean,
because my hands were in places. My lips might have been on,
that.
We done talked about the kiss thing.
Yeah, and that's whenever you barely knew me.
Well, here, let me just give you a little secret. If I aggravate you, it means I like you. If I don't aggravate you, it means I don't care about you.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah.
And then I find out, and here's the little bit of the opposite of that. If I'm aggravating one of the guys, especially one of the younger guys, and when I say younger guys and new in the business, because a lot of the guys, and you know this,
yeah.
JL, fresh meat.
Oh.
And I'll aggravate them.
Yeah.
And if I see that it really bothers them and it scares them, I do it 10 times worse. I don't stop.
Right.
But if it's like, hey, what's up?
If they just sit there and play possum, then you leave them alone.
Yeah, because it ain't fun.
Right.
It ain't fun.
So they lay there like a dead fish. It ain't fun, huh?
It ain't fun.
When did I become the interview, man? I'm interviewing you now.
Hey, man, I don't know. We're just out. We're hanging out, man. It's to and from the ring.
Thank you, Smiley's Photography. I got my own show now.
We're here we are. We're talking to and from the ring. Me and you, we've been wrestled a lot of the same shows together.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, right now you're still active in professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You're working for Adrenaline Rush Wrestling, ARW, out of McDonald, Tennessee.
McDonald, Tennessee. Yeah, they have a lot of good people over there, and they the fans love it. I mean,
I've been there.
I got to tell you about this.
There.
Yeah, they are. The fans kind of vary from show to show. The TWA. They love Billy Jester doing the craze, coming out on the pogo stick, or throwing cake in Damian James Black's face. They love that type of stuff. But the ARW crowd, they are out for blood. They want to see a fight. They don't want to see Billy Jester out there juggling and doing flips and stuff like that. It's kind of different because it's not me, but I kind of I'm like water.
You have to adapt.
Yeah, you have to adapt.
It don't matter where you go in professional wrestling, you got to adapt. And you also have to adapt. Let's say TWA.
Right.
You were there for quite a while, a few years at least.
It was about 5 years.
In that 5 years, your character and you developed because you didn't want to get stale.
Right.
You wanted to change.
Right. It's kind of juggling the half and half here of being a gimmick, being a wrestler. There's a happy median there, but sometimes you have to veer. It's like a spectrum. Sometimes you have to be on the light side. Sometimes you have to be on the dark side. And when it comes together and the people love it, it's beautiful.
Well, Billy Jester is bipolar.
Yeah.
You got the bill.
Yeah, sometimes.
The bill.
Yeah, he does have the bill. Yeah, the bill. He's known for doing stuff like that.
Oh.
Just when you least expect it, man, he's like,
Okay, we're good.
Oh, you brought up the bill.
I want to talk Jester again. I want to talk Jester again. Good God, man.
What?
Calm down.
Oh.
You hit me. There's people out here. Violence. Stop the violence. Are you? 1, 2, 3, breathe. Are we good? We good?
JL, I had 8 cups of coffee.
Oh, God.
A Red Bull.
Oh, God.
A 5-hour energy shot. And some vitamin B complex before I came. Can we take a commercial break?
Yes. Hey, well, ladies and gentlemen, Billy just run off. So maybe Billy Jester will be back here in just a few minutes. We'll be back with more To and From the Ring. All right, we're back here from To and From the Ring. Billy's made it back from the bathroom, and
I'm back.
My face is stinging.
What's up with that light switch, man? It's like you press it, you put it down to turn the light on, and you turn it up to turn the light off. That's not how the light switch is supposed to work, man. It's up is on, down, off.
Okay, well, Billy, thanks for being on the show. Once again, we'd like to thank Smiley's Photography.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're done. We're going to wrap things up.
I just went to the bathroom for 15 minutes.
Dude, the show's over. You was gone. The show's over. You left.
I didn't get to tell you about the Widowmaker rubbing my head against the mesh, or
I tell you what.
the long trips to Harriman, Tennessee, and the one to Americus. That was horrible.
I tell you what. Why don't you come back on the show? You want to come back on the show?
Of course I want to come back on the show. Right. This is awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks to Smiley's Photography for making this project happen. To and from the ring. A lot more great interviews on their way in the upcoming weeks and the upcoming months. Something big and major is going to happen coming up at the end of July. And hey, watch the hand. I'm trying to do my job here.
Waving bye.
Yeah. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Billy Jester, this has been To and From the Ring. So long, everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes this episode of To and From the Ring. We'd like to thank Smiley's Photography for making this happen. And we'd like to thank Billy Jester for being here.